Inanimate Insanity has recently released its 10th episode of Season 3. With this episode, the most dangerous trope of any object show rears its ugly head. Having a rejoiner. Many object shows do this, and I understand why. It can bring back a character the fans have been missing, or allow a character with little development to grow into something special. This means it is very important to choose a good character to bring back. And who did the creators of Inanimate Insanity decide? Cabby. They chose Cabby. But why do I have a problem with this? Cabby was one of the most important and interesting characters in the show, so shouldn't I be excited? Well, my problem arises from the fact that as an interesting character she was finished. Her story was that of defeat as her overconfidence led to her downfall. She served her role as a villain, and was overcome by our heroes. Of course there aren't any actual heroes or villains, but it was basically presented as such. Her rejoining is pointless, because she barely has anything else to do other than just competing with a few changes. Even then, she immediately takes control of the game like before. It's ridiculous. So who should have joined back instead? In my opinion, I think there are two better options. While watching the episode I tried predicting who would join back, or at least who would be the best option. It turns out that the show almost agrees with me, as the near three-way tie includes both characters who would work better than Cabby. Tea Kettle and Blueberry. To start, let's look at Tea Kettle and why she would work well if she rejoined. As a character she was simple enough, being a mother figure to the Sinkers and prioritizing others over herself. A reintroduction could show her working harder to win for herself, especially since the teams have been fully disbanded. It could be a character arc about prioritizing oneself or even going to the dark side, so to speak. This could show her becoming a far stronger competitor than she was before, and becoming a realistic threat of who would win, which would be entertaining. Next we have Blueberry, and unlike Tea Kettle I never anticipated wanting him to rejoin, but after the 10th episode I am honestly mad he didn't get to. Blueberry is the classic type of character that is meant to be voted out first. If every single character is written to be super interesting and deep, then anyone being voted out would be upsetting to viewers. Competition shows use this technique all the time, especially ones like Total Drama Island. Blueberry's only character trait was that he is super depressed. He kept going on about inevitably losing and everything being pointless until his swift elimination. But in the 10th episode we see a whole new side of him. After being cheered on by Goo, and encouraged to do better, he at least tries slightly to do the challenge. By the end he really listens to Goo's words and tries to do what he preaches. You can do anything you set your mind to. In an actually dramatic moment Blueberry looks down at his hands and thinks about this statement. I can do anything? Those words cut deeply into his soul. And he decides to prove Goo wrong, by actually trying his best. He works so efficiently, getting to the end just in time to catch up with the others, getting a dramatic mini-line in as the challenge ends. He ties with two other competitors, and sadly is proven correct, he couldn't do anything he wanted. As Cabby is let back onto the show instead. This is a very sad sight to see. While obviously played for comedy, Blueberry is clearly depressed. He spends his entire existence thinking nothing is possible, and that his life and everyone else's is pointless. If he won this challenge after truly trying his best, it would have given him that hope that he needs. Rejoining the competition, it would be cool to see someone legitimately depressed starting to get better and making friends. Out of all the characters in the cast, it would also be great since he has barely any screen time as is. Not to mention once again the lack of stuff to do with Cabby. That's why, at least in my opinion, out of all of the characters eliminated, Blueberry deserved to rejoin. Well, that was me, golden archetype, and stay gold everybody, stay gold.